So happiness is very predictable, okay? If you look back at any point in your life where you ever felt happy, there is one commonality across all of those moments that can actually be documented in a mathematical equation. You've never felt happy because of a specific event in your life. It's the comparison between the event and an expectation in your mind of how life should be. And so happiness in that sense becomes equal to or greater than, so it's really mathematics, your perception of the events of your life minus your expectations of how life should be. My favorite example is nature. We're all happy in nature. Why are we all happy in nature? I mean, you go out there and there are ants and there are flies and, trees are crooked and there are, shrubs everywhere and bushes, and it's just really not that hedged and organized. But that's what we expect. So, nature's chaos is what we expect nature to be. And so we feel happy. Nobody ever sits in front of the ocean and says, I like the view, but please mute the sound. You just take it. It's the monotonous sound and the view and the wind and the sun and the whole experience, right? And because of that, happiness becomes very different than what was defined to us. What was defined to us is that happiness is found in gathering at the pub or a party or an activity or some kind of pleasure or fun or elation or whatever that is. That's not at all true. I call these the state of escape. Okay? Happiness, as per the definition of the happiness equation, is events equal to or beating expectations, life going my way. Okay? And so basically happiness is that calm and peacefulness you feel when you're okay with life as it is. It doesn't really matter what life is, okay? What matters is that you can be okay with it. Similarly, anything else, if you look at it, then it's not just the event. It's your perception of the event. So you have a something to influence. It's not just the event. Your partner might say something hurtful on Friday at 4 p.m. That's the event. My partner said something hurtful. At Sunday morning, you tell yourself he or she doesn't love me anymore, okay? That's your perception of the event. That's not actually the event. The event is something hurtful was said. But your perception of the event is your work, it's your brain adding color to it. And then you compare that to your expectations. We blur the happiness equation. We break the happiness equation because of what I call the 6 and 7. 6 grand illusions and 7 blind spots, which are, the 6 grand illusions are basically pathways that the modern world teaches us to navigate the modern world that are illusions, are not true, okay? Take, for example, control. Everyone knows that to succeed in the modern world, you have to learn to control certain events, right? So you start to believe that the way to succeed in life is to control everything. But the truth is, even if you go down to the basics of physics, that we never are in control. That the absolute design of nature itself, of the universe itself, is entropy and chaos, right? That's the actual design. And so if you try to control it, you're bound to be disappointed. A lot of events are going to miss your expectations, okay? And yes, I'm not saying don't control anything at all, but start to understand that you're going to be selective because you have a finite amount of effort. And by the way, even if you're selective and you try to control everything, sometimes things will fall out of control, okay? And that should be your expectation. Once you get that right, these are the illusions. If you live your life through the illusion of control, good luck finding happiness. So 6 grand illusions: the illusion of thought, the illusion of self, the illusion of knowledge, the illusion of time, control, and fear. Okay? Now, that's one side, and that disrupts your entire view of what to expect from life, because you're expecting life to behave through a lens of an illusion. The other side of it is what I call 7 blind spots. Okay? And the 7 blind spots are not really defects in your brain. As a matter of fact, they are the very design of your brain. Our brain constantly look for what's wrong, blur the events of life. Happiness is a choice. The only way you can come out of unhappiness is if you choose and say, okay, it's going to be a long journey. It's going to take a lot of time, okay? And I'm going to try and try and try, but I'll get there. And neuroplasticity proves that. Neuroplasticity basically tells you that if you just run a happiness kind of activity once a day, every day your brain will be better at it. because it's an activity we do on daily basis. So your brain goes like, this must be important for her or him. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I have the neurons aligned around that. Okay, I've not watched a violent movie unless really badly recommended to me because it has a good message in it. And I watch Michael McIntyre every night before I sleep. I love Michael McIntyre. Who's going to get me to say hi to Michael McIntyre? Think about that practice. My brain, before I go to sleep, is laughing. Is laughing. That's a choice. That's a choice.